music. Everybody loves music. If you don't like music, you're a liar. Of course you like music. When it comes to music in video games, the Legend of Zelda series has some of the best. Who can forget the upbeat tunes of Castletown, the somber tones of many dungeons, and of course, making it rain. It doesn't matter what Zelda game you play, you can always guarantee music will play a special part.
With the newest entry, Breath of the Wild, changing just about every convention of the Zelda series, music is one of the biggest. We received an incredible yet untraditional track in the E3 2016 trailer, and the gameplay demos did seem a bit quieter than usual. Together with music propositions Ruven and Wegner, we're going to see what kind of role music will play inside Breath of the Wild.
Before we get into Breath of the Wild, we need to discuss the music in the Zelda series overall. It is nothing short of iconic. The minute you boot up the first game on NES, you hear the main theme that will be used for the next 30 years. But starting with Ocarina of Time, music wasn't just a background element. It played a huge part in the game's design and story. That was then the case for almost every game since. To put it rather lightly, music is kind of important in the Zelda franchise. There's a reason why many consider it to be some of the best in gaming. The fact that there's a whole orchestra on tour to perform the music says everything. Some of our greatest memories with Zelda were ones that we've heard rather than seen. Of course, Breath of the Wild will incorporate music as well, but not in the way you might think.
In the previous games like Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, music was always there to set a tone. Skyloft would feature a cheery and relaxing tone to symbolize the feeling of home, while Death Mountain would have instruments similar in style to a factory or a mine. In Breath of the Wild, you hear, like, nothing. The only sounds you can hear are the wind blowing in the trees, the wildlife minding their own business. You hear the literal Breath of the Wild. For comparison's sake, here's Link running through the fields in Twilight Princess HD. And here he is running through the forest in Breath of the Wild. A stark difference indeed. Not to say the game is devoid of music, absolutely not. It's just used quite sparingly. For example, if you go into the snowy area of the Great Plateau, you will hear some chilling ambiance. But quite possibly the coolest piece we've heard so far is the music played in the shrines. It's still quiet, but it is unmistakably the theme from the Light World dungeons in A Link to the Past.
When you encounter Steptalis in the Great Plateau, that's when we get a more traditional music setup, with the score playing in the background as you engage the boss. Only thing is, it isn't that traditional. You might think you'd hear the type of music that would play during an intense boss battle, but instead we get a rather upbeat track with brass and percussion instruments. The same type of tracks can be heard during fights with large number of enemies, with some of the changes depending on the setting. You'll get more of a techno-themed track if you come across a shrine enemy. How do we explain this new phenomenon in The Legend of Zelda's music? Simply put, it has been geniusly designed to represent the nature, literally, in an appropriate and most spontaneous fashion. Previous games boasted their rightfully amazing soundtracks to the point where it has been engraved in the minds of fans for the past 30 years, but this time, Breath of the Wild is taking a more subtle approach in its style and frequency.
There is an old theory saying that music and its structures represents the universe, the planets, the earth, in general the whole world we live in. And there's no better example for how to do that in gaming than Breath of the Wild. The boundary between the player and the world of the latest Zelda game is extremely small, because the music transfers that world so well. But how does it do that? Here's a little history lesson. Music before 1900 was structured and formal, like the great works of Beethoven and Bach. That's the style Zelda has been achieving since it went over to 3D. For example, Skyward Sword offered some of the most beautifully orchestrated tracks in the franchise's history. Music after 1900 has led to the Impressionist and modern era, where music had freedom and was very unpredictable, fitting to the sounds of nature. There is a noise meter in Breath of the Wild that shows how important noises are, and at that time music started to put focus on the nature sounds as well. Later in modern music, the sounds we hear in our everyday life are seen as a soundtrack and a piece of music themselves. That transition in music history also exists in the game thanks to its Impressionist music. Its light, random and free character underlines the gameplay extremely well and can also be found in the game's art style, which is a mix of nature impressions and Japanese art. Many people are hoping for an epic orchestral soundtrack. Will that be existent in Breath of the Wild? No, the style is very consistent. However, there will be more tracks like the E3 trailer theme. What does that mean for future Zelda games though? Will they uphold a similar soundtrack? Not either, it's unique and the next Zelda game will most likely follow a complete new structure from Breath of the Wild.
The biggest question is if the soundtrack will have great pieces, or if it will just remain minimalistic and somehow strange. Not at all. The possibilities of the Impressionist music style are endless. We will hear some amazing pieces of video game music even if the style is new to many of ours. The immersion and experience will be amazing because they didn't just make the music to fit the gameplay, but they introduced a brand new musical style to the franchise and brought the role of the soundtrack in gaming to a whole new level.
But now, we want to hear from you. Are you a fan of this new Impressionist style of Zelda music, or would you rather Nintendo go back to the ways of the old? Post your answer in the comment sections below. And for the next Inside Breath of the Wild, what would you like us to cover? The timeline placement or the story? Once again, comment below or tweet them to us at Common Realm. We would like to thank Ruven Wegner of Music Proposition for helping us write this episode of Inside Breath of the Wild. His knowledge of music is just as incredible as his compositions. Take it away, Ruven.
Hi, this is Ruven Wegner. Many of you have wondered what music the intro is of Inside Breath of the Wild. I composed it, and on my channel Music Proposition you will find many soundtrack renditions for upcoming games, especially Zelda. Enjoy my music in Inside Breath of the Wild.
A recent listing from American retailer Target has set the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild's release date to be June 13th, 2017. Nintendo has never specifically said that the game would launch on the Switch's release day, but if this rumor is true, then why the hell did they decide to make Breath of the Wild their only game at E3 2016? Look, we've been waiting for this game for over 2 years now since its announcement. If it doesn't make the Switch's launch day, we're gonna be pissed, to say the least. What was that? There's also a listing on GameStop that it's coming out in Q1 2017? Ugh, I'm sick of these rumors. While I go through some prepubescent rage, why don't you take a look at a preview of our Pokemon timeline up on the channel. We hope you guys have a look and you have a fabulous day. This has been Commonwealth Realm, and we will see you guys and gals soon.
The humans had by now settled the world and worshipped several of the legendary Pokemon, or as they called them at the time, magical creatures. One of these creatures was Regigigas, until they realized the threat that his powers posed to the Pokemon world. Fearing the unknown, they sealed him and the Rock Titans away, but darker times were looming. A few thousand years passed until a ferocious war broke out between two rivaling factions in the province of Kalos. However, instead of sending out their men to settle their differences, they sent out their Pokemon to do the battles for them. The terrible conflict resulted in the death of many Pokemon, including King AZ's Floette. Bearing witness to this horrible sight, the mighty AZ built a machine to revive the fallen Floette. However, this would bring another tragedy as the cannon had to take the lives of other Pokemon in order to revive.